What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today we got a reaction to Ash and their top 10 songs brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter, and patron of the channel, Richard. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out that Patreon link below or the patron link on the end screen. We could not do it without the patrons running a free trial right now. Go over there and check it out. Do some cool stuff for you over there. All right, let's get to Ash now. I may have had Ash on a top 10 or something. We're getting to the point now, we got over 3,200 videos up where I don't exactly remember every artist that they're on a top 10 or somewhere else. But to my knowledge, I don't really remember Ash. And I'm in the United States, and this is one of the bands that I come across or artists every once in a while who are not famous at all in my country, but had a lot of success elsewhere. So they're a Northern Irish rock band formed in 1992 by vocalist and guitarist Tim Wheeler, bassist Mark Hamilton, and drummer Rick McMurray. As a three-piece, they released a mini-album Trailer in 1994 and the full-length album 1977 in 1996. Yeah, this gets a little confusing. This 1996 release was named by NME as one of the 500 greatest albums of all time. After the success of their full debut, the band recruited Charlotte Hatherley as a guitarist and vocalist, releasing their second album, Nuclear Sounds, in 1998. After narrowly avoiding bankruptcy, the band released Free All Angels in 2001 and had a string of successful singles. They became a three-piece again in 2006 when Charlotte left, and after 5 conventional albums, the band released 26 singles in the A to Z series in 2009, one every 2 weeks. Very unique. The band have 1 silver, 2 gold, and 2 platinum selling and chart-topping records in the UK, as well as 18 songs in the top 40 of the UK singles chart. They've been associated with Britpop, though they were not comfortable with the association, and emphasizing Britishness could be interpreted as sectarian in Northern Ireland. I'm not going to get into all of that because I don't understand that situation. I'm just giving you the facts. 8 studio albums. All right, before we jump into this, the music won't be in the video, but it will be at the Vimeo link down below. I mean, I'm showing you the banner for Vimeo up here over one of my fingers, whichever side I decide to put it on. But don't click that. There's nothing to click. Click on the Vimeo link down below, and you can watch the whole reaction with the music with us. We're going to jump into it. At number 10 with Kung Fu, off that 1977 album that, of course, was released in 1996. Debut single, 57 in the UK, written by Tim Wheeler in about 5 minutes on Boxing Day, 1994, while he was at the Belfast International Airport. It was recorded in one take the next day. It was recorded on the Verve's equipment, who were nearby recording their A Northern Soul album at the same time. That's a great album as well, underrated album. The song lyrics reference martial arts movie star Jackie Chan, and the song was used in the advertising and during the bloopers at the end of the American release of Chan's film Rumble in the Bronx. Additionally, the intro is a sample from kung fu flick Close Encounters of the Spooky Kind, starring Sammo Hung, which was being shown as part of the Channel 4 Kung Fu film season over Christmas of that year. It is Hung's voice that can be heard in the sample. All right, interesting story. I'm going to have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, Richard. All right, Kung Fu. A lot of shout-outs in that song. 2 minutes, 17 seconds. A fun song. Shout out, Teenage Lobotomy, so to the Ramones. Obviously, Jackie Chan and a few of his movies. Daniel San instead of Daniel San from The Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi's. And I love The Karate Kid, 1984. Hey, man, I still love it now in 2025. I know it can be cheesy and cliched, but hey, man, it's one of those memories you have. So good way to start this. Next up at number 9, we got A Life Less Ordinary, off a Life Less Ordinary soundtrack in 1997. A non-album single written and recorded for the Danny Boyle directed movie of the same name. Boyle personally requested them. It also marks Ash's debut as a 4-piece with the addition of Charlotte that I was telling you about earlier. 10 in the UK. It had the working title of Film Song. Tim had this to say about the lyrics. This is a song about my muse. Robert Graves wrote a book called White Goddess about the goddess of poetry, which is a concept that goes back to the ancient Greeks. Maybe this makes me sound completely mad, but I have this thing about music coming from a higher place. So I was writing a song about the goddess. It's a weird love song. It says how I'd sell my soul for something to believe in, something more significant than everyday life. All right, A Life Less Ordinary, a fantastic driving song. Right, vocally he keeps up, but the guitar really drives the song. But this fantastic arrangement, like the song, I'm sure that the director Boyle was happy with this when he got it, man. It's just a driving good rock song, man. All right, next up at number 8, we got Burn Baby Burn from the Free All Angels album in 2001, their 3rd studio album. Our next 4 songs are going to come from this, but I'll tell you every time. Song originally titled This Is Slow Suicide, but changed to be more commercially viable. It's a track about a mismatched relationship between Tim Wheeler and an unknown blonde-haired girl. The once great relationship has deteriorated to something detrimental and boring. Because neither of them attempted to stop the relationship sooner or made an effort to keep things fresh, its demise has felt like a slow suicide. I think a lot of us might have been in those situations, or may still be. 13 in the UK, 10 in Scotland. It was originally written for the Nuclear Sounds album, but did not make the cut. However, Mark Hamilton liked the riff and encouraged Wheeler to rewrite parts of the song, namely the chorus. Wheeler came up with the chorus while driving back to his parents' house from Belfast and wrote it down when he got home. He said a personal relationship did inspire the song. It was the first song played on the BBC's Six Music station, which means nothing to me, but if you're in that area of the world, I'm sure it does for you. An NME and Q Awards 2002 Best Single of the Year. All right, a fantastic song. At parts of it, they sound a little Blink 182-ish, but then obviously got into harder guitar on there than what Blink is going to bring on the majority of their stuff. Really well-written song. I mean, it's not a super long song, but it has a lot to it. It really does bring you into that, look, this relationship has just got stale. Oftentimes, you just stay in those relationships because you have so much time invested. And it's such a familiar thing, even if it doesn't really do it for you. It's just like, this is just familiar, man. This is what I know. So he says, looking in my tired eyes, of course, see someone you don't recognize, binds that can't be untied. Oh, this is slow suicide, feelings that I can't disguise and never will be reconciled. Oh, something inside has died. So slowly dying inside. And then, you walk like you're in a daze, unresponsive eyes and a distant gaze. Tumbling like leaves, yeah, we were spiraling on the breeze, almost to the point of no return. Everything will burn, baby, burn. But the thing is, the chorus is so catchy, so upbeat. So it's one of those songs where it's really a sad, depressing song, but they package it in this fun riff. So I always enjoy those songs. Next up, number 7, from the same album, Free All Angels in 2001. Because I know you boys and girls were paying attention. I told you 4 in a row. This is the second one. We got Candy, 4th single, 20 in the UK. The strings that form the basis of the track are sampled from all the way back in 1965, the Walker Brothers version of Make It Easy on Yourself. Wheeler has said about the sample, quote, it's on a song called Candy that we rewrote about 4 times because we couldn't get it right. We tried some samples and that fit perfectly. It lifted the song up and we danced around the studio for 2 days, seriously drunk. All right, Candy. Of course, about a girl named Candy. I once knew a girl named Candy. Went to high school with a girl named Candy, but I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to be in the minority here, so you guys can tell me in the comments how wrong I am. I really like this song, but there's one part of the song I don't care for, and it is that string sample. I find it like jarring every time it comes in. I find the rest of the song super pleasant, but overall the song is really good. But I would actually eliminate those strings from the Walker Brothers. Sorry, Walker Brothers. All right, next up, we got Sometimes. Yes, you've already got it from the Free All Angels album. 3rd single, 21 in the UK. Really well done arrangement, great guitar work, drumming, vocals are strong. Song is about, him and this girl aren't together anymore. Now, it sounds very much like, drugs could be involved in this or some sort of addiction, and that kind of spiraled this downhill as well, just by some of the things that he says. But great sound to this one. And now the last track in our 4-track run, and coming in at number 5 on Richard's top 10 Ash songs. We got There's a Star. It was the 5th single. It was a surprise hit for the band, reaching 13 on the UK singles charts and giving them one of their best-selling singles. All right, There's a Star. Great guitar melody on this. Just sounds fantastic, man. Sounds like some strings on there. However that was accomplished. There's a lot of different ways to do that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what more to say about it. Just a fantastic song. I mean, I'm going to have to go listen to this album because I'm already going to have listened to most of it by the time this countdown's over, or a lot of it. All right, we got 4 songs left. We got Oh Yeah from the 1977 album in 1996. It debuted and peaked at number 6 on the UK singles chart, becoming their 2nd highest charting single on the chart, following their previous release, Goldfinger. Will that be on this list? I don't know, man. You're going to have to watch. Features backing vocals from singer Lisa Moorish. Went to 5 in Scotland as well. A really good song. A lot of diversity to the song, a lot of different soundscapes to it. Eventually it gets into what all of these songs, or most of these songs, done that great guitar melody and fantastic vocals. It's about a summer love, right? He doesn't even regret it now. And he goes through and describes that kind of, and it takes you back to a time, if you're older like I am, of just that freedom, man, and just that carefree time. So I thought they did a really good job of taking not only themselves, but the listener to a place they could identify with, or most of us can. All right, for number 3, we're going to stay with that 1977 album from 1996, the debut, of course. And Goldfinger, I just talked about it. Ash frontman Tim Wheeler is quoted as saying, quote, "Goldfinger has the best words I've ever written. The song's about a guy who sat at home on a dark night. His girlfriend or friend he cares about has gone out. He's a clingy person, a worrisome person. And the absence of this person with the pathetic fallacy of the lashing rain causes him to worry. The song's last few lines can sum it up, its meaning far better than I ever could. I've got some records on, some bottles of wine. On a stormy night, the rain is lashing down, and I'm waiting for her." It's a tough picture. It was Ash's first UK top 10 hit, number 5, and sparked a reaction that helped the album, their debut album, get to number 1 on the charts, went to 8 in Scotland. All right, Goldfinger. I wonder if Tim wrote this out of personal experience as well. He says it's the best words he's ever read. Really well-written song. Does she ever come back? I'm going to say she doesn't, but he's got a line in there talking about her brother. It's in the chorus. Her brother started school again today. It was actually Tim's younger brother, he said, was starting school when the song was written. So incorporated in the song's story, since with Ash about to take off, he would soon be missing out on such family life events in his hometown. And all the way up in 2018, he said, quote, "As I was writing it, my younger brother was going back to school, and I was like, damn, I've left that behind. I'm never going back to that." Never really thought about that, right? It affects the siblings and everyone else, not just the maybe the love interest in your life. All right, 2 songs left. We're going back to the Free All Angels album from 2001, "Shining Light." The first single off this album revived their career from impending bankruptcy, which I talked about earlier, following the commercial disappointment of Nuclear Sounds and Teenage Wildlife, which neither one of those are featured on this top 10. The tour documentary that the band funded with the money, that's a tour documentary that the band funded with the money they made from 1977 and was promptly shelved. The single reached 8 in the UK and earned Wheeler a Novella Award for Best Contemporary Song. Annie Lennox has covered the song, went to 7 in Scotland. It was written about Tim Wheeler's now ex-girlfriend, Audrey. He was driving home in his car when the line in tune, "Yeah, you are a shining light," came into his head. He rushed home and wrote it straight away on an acoustic guitar. The first time the band heard it, they said that they knew, quote, "it was a hit." "Shining Light," longest song on this top 10, 5 minutes, 9 seconds. And I wish it was longer. It's just a fantastic song. How could Audrey have ever left him after this, man? What a song. What a song. Great guitar melody. I don't know if it's Tim on here or Charlotte, who is really laying down the great guitar. Remember I told you Charlotte Hatherley came on. She was there from 97 to 2006, which means she wasn't on the 1977 album, which was 1996, but she's on all the Free All Angels songs. So fantastic, whoever's playing the guitar on that one. All right, here we go. Richard's number 1 Ash song. And it is "Girl from Mars" from the 1977 album, 1996, written by a teenage Tim Wheeler in the wake of his first breakup. The song imagines a past love affair with a mysterious female from Mars. Sensing the song's commercial appeal, Ash's manager withheld it from inclusion on the trailer mini-album so that they could promote it properly. According to Wheeler, all the way up in 2016, he said, "Our manager knew this song was really good, so he told us to hold back on it because we hadn't been able to promote our 1994 trailer mini-album as we were still at school." Second single, 11 in the UK, 14 in Scotland. All right, "Girl from Mars." An interesting way of kind of put your heartbreak into this format, but Tim actually wrote in The Guardian in 2020. It's a little bit longer quote, but I was curious about it. So he said, "I wrote Girls from Mars in my bedroom at my parents' house when I was 17. I think there's a bit of Mars hanging over us. I was listening to Pixies, who were sci-fi obsessed. My sister is 18 years older than me and was a Bowie fan in her teens. Our rehearsal room had been her den, and she'd written "Life on Mars" in huge letters on the wall. I think I also saw a film called Girl from Mars or something in a TV listing magazine. It's on at 4 a.m., so I never watched it, but I made up my own story for the song. I'd broken up with my first girlfriend, which is very intense, first love. I'd always been a happy child, but for the first time was experiencing teenage angst, which I poured into the song. I will tell you this from experience. There's nothing like those teenage breakups, man. The emotion it makes you feel, because you don't have that life experience to understand, hey, this too shall pass. People will tell you you'll feel better, but you don't want to hear it. But the melody on this starts out with the chorus, which might have been partly because he wrote it when he was 17, but I love that songwriting technique. It really works well. And it's just super, super good, super upbeat, great arrangement. So good pick for number 1. All right, now we're going to get to my favorite tracks. In the old days, I used to limit myself to 3 faves, and then somehow I stopped doing that, and then it just got out of control. So I've been trying to limit it down more lately. And I'm looking at this. I didn't do a very good job on this because I just really like their sound, man. So honorable mentions are going to be A Life Less Ordinary, and There's a Star, and Oh Yeah. Faves, yeah, there's a lot of them. Buckle Up, Burn Baby Burn, Sometimes, Goldfinger, Shining Light, and Girl from Mars. I don't even know what my favorite song is here, but I didn't even know Ash. I mean, Tim Wheeler, fantastic job. Mark Hamilton on bass and synth, a very important part of this. Well, only one song on here did you really get to shine on the bass, but very important. And Rick McMurray on drums and percussion, really good job. Really good job. Very fundamental on all of these. But, and Charlotte Hatherley on probably half of these on guitar and piano and backing vocals. But Tim's a star. That's the way it usually is. But really good band. So thank you to Richard for bringing them to the channel and to this guy's attention. Let me know your favorite tracks on this top 10 and your favorite tracks from Ash if you got something different and what I should check out. I'm going to go check out these 2 albums because I've already listened to a lot of them. So I'm going to go spin the whole albums here probably either tonight or tomorrow just because I've already listened to these. So thanks again to Richard. If you haven't already, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and check out that Patreon link. All right, guys, until next time, I will see you.